everybody, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Success. I want to say thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be talking about some blogging tips, so specifically targeted towards wedding photographers. And sorry if my camera looks a little red. It looks like my white balance is off. Like I said, we're going to be talking about blogging tips for photographers. So we're going to be going through talking about how to blog to attract your ideal client, identifying your ideal client, things like that. We're going to talk about long-tailed keywords. I'm going to give you a strategy if you're not a blogger, if maybe you're just getting started blogging. I'm going to give you a strategy called the 3-in-3 blogging strategy that when you're sitting there like, man, I don't know what to write about for this blogger. I know I need to blog, but I've got no idea what I should say. I'm going to give you a strategy that will help you overcome that. And then we're going to talk about frequency and consistency. Now, if you guys haven't submitted a photo yet, the June light themed photo contest is underway. We've got a lot of people submitting photos already. If you haven't submitted a photo yet, the link to submit your photo is in the description below this video. And also a little later on, I'm going to be showing you the current top 10 images in that photo contest. And of course, I'll be answering your questions live. Let me say hi to some of you guys in chat. We've got Craigslist hanging out with us. Always glad to have Craigslist. Frozen Time Photography says, happy Thursday. Thursday's like my favorite day of the week. Carol Hope, hey, coming back, and I think I said it right. Carol coming back and hanging out with us. So hey, Carol, thanks for coming on here and hanging out with us. As always, we've got Richard hanging out with you guys in chat, answering your questions, taking care of you guys. So make sure that you show Richard some love there in the chat. Also, too, we've got some information below this video in the description about blogging to attract your ideal client. There's a video that I did actually, I think about a year ago, where it talks about how to identify your ideal client. So make sure that if you haven't checked that video out, you jump down and check that video out. But let's go ahead and get started. So let's just jump right in here. Let's get started. Also, hey, if this is your first time hanging out with us, make sure that you say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're from. Like I said, if you have any questions along the way, even if it's off topic, even if it's, outside of the realm of Zenfolio, make sure that you get those questions in there. We will do our best to answer what we can. And so just make sure you get those questions in there. And if you're watching the recorded version of this, there's a link below the video right now that says questions for next week. You can hit that link up and I will answer your questions the following week since you're not able to hang out with us live. All right, let's jump in here. All right, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about is just talking about blogging to attract your ideal client. And so what I mean by that is, first of all, do you know who your ideal client is? When I first got started in photography and I was trying to do it and I was trying to make a living at first doing photography, my ideal client was pretty much anybody who would pay me to take their photos. Well, after doing that for a couple of years, I learned really quick that there are some people who will pay me to take their photos, but I'm not enjoying taking their photos at all. And so when I talk about identifying your ideal client, of course it's people who are going to pay you, but it's also people that you want to work with. So it's not just about the money, but it's going to be also about people that you work with. And so there's some exercises you can do to kind of identify who that ideal client is. And I mentioned that video below. Again, it's about a year old. I sat down with Anna Teresa from, I'm going to pronounce her last name wrong, Gazelli's Photography. She's an amazing wedding photographer. And she goes through her whole process of identifying her ideal client, how she does that and what that means. So you guys definitely want to check that video out. But again, like I said, your ideal client is not just somebody who will pay you, it's who you want to work with. And so look back at who you've worked with, the clients you've had in the past, and start making a list of like, I like this person because of this, I didn't like this person because of that, and take that information and bring it together, and you should have a pretty good outline of who your ideal client is, the people that you want to seek out. And then you need to take that information and put that into all of your marketing efforts. So when you're posting blogs and when you're doing social media posts, you are doing it with that ideal client in mind. So you are posting things that they're going to want to look at. You're posting things that they're going to be searching for. And so that's what you want to do, is you want to put all of your focus and putting stuff out there that are going to attract people that not only are going to pay you, but they're also going to attract the people that you want to work with. So like if you like maybe shooting edgy, I don't know, edgy gothic outdoor weddings or edgy gothic weddings or punk rock weddings or something like that, you're posting that kind of content and you're posting things that people who would have those types of weddings are going to be searching for and looking at, and you're engaging with those type of people. That is what it means. You don't just want to blog without a goal in mind. You don't want to just put social media posts up without a goal in mind. You want to make sure that you have that clear picture of this is what I'm posting because these are the type of people that I want to attract. And so that's what I mean, blog to attract your ideal client. And so obviously too, you want to think outside of the realm of just blogging about your photography, right? Like if you're a wedding photographer, there are going to be lots of times when people are not looking for a wedding photographer that you can still blog and kind of attract them to you. So like, what is your ideal client doing, outside of wedding season or before they're getting married? What are they looking for? What are they searching for? This is the type of content that you want to put in your blog post. Hey, I'm sure that you guys in chat have some really awesome ideas. So in your non-busy times and when you're not blogging about photography, what kind of stuff do you guys blog about to try to attract clients or to attract your ideal client? And also, have you guys gone through the process, whatever process that might be, of identifying your ideal client? Let me know in the chat. Give me some ideas in the chat. I love to hear from you guys. You guys always have really good insight and just some fantastic information to share. So let me know in the chat what you guys think and what your ideas are for blogging content and for, if you've gone through the process of identifying that ideal client and what they look like. Let's see. So again, like I said, keeping that stuff in mind. And then from there, once you kind of have that ideal client outlined, who they are, what they're going to be searching for, what kind of content you need to talk about, you want to start to think about what I call what most people call long tail keywords, or you might think of them as keyword phrases. And you want to start making sure that you include that information in your blog post, in your photos. And so the difference between a normal keyword and a long-tailed keyword or a keyword phrase is that the word photographer is just a normal keyword. But if you say, rustic outdoor wedding photographer, that is a long-tailed keyword. That is a keyword phrase. And so after you identify your ideal client, you want to kind of identify long-tailed keywords that would appeal to that ideal client. And so again, if you want to target people who want to have outdoor rustic weddings in a specific location, maybe your ideal, or maybe your long-tailed keyword is going to be outdoor rustic wedding photographer in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then you kind of set that up and you use that long-tailed keyword in your images, in your blog posts, and your titles, and different things like that. And I'm going to show you some of that here in a second about doing that in your blog post. So let's actually just go ahead and go into the blog really quick. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hover over website here, and we're going to go website and go into the blog. And let me just jump in that. And I open that up in a new tab because I always want to be able to go back and forth and reference different things, right? So I like working in multiple tabs because if I'm in my blog and I need to go back to an image and maybe set it to be public because I want to use it in my blog, I can jump back and forth. So I always open things up in another tab like this. All right. And so we're in this blog post, and let's just go down here really quick and let's talk about, I kind of set up a blog preview right here we can look at. And so just going back to thinking about your ideal client, about long-tailed keywords and using that information in your blog post, let's say that my ideal client is, like I said, an outdoor wedding or somebody who wants to have a rustic outdoor wedding. And then in the area that I want to work in. So maybe that's being North Carolina. So I am developing that. I'm developing that long-tailed keyword and that information, and I'm including it in my blog post. So like right here, it says beautiful outdoor rustic wedding on the Neuse River, which is a specific location in my area, and then in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so that's kind of my long tail keyword being used in the title of my blog. And then obviously I wouldn't want to title every single blog like that. So then the next blog might be rearranged just a little bit, or I might include, like, maybe I might just say beautiful outdoor wedding in the Outer Banks, North Carolina or something. But I'm constantly using and reusing those words from my long-tailed keyword, kind of switching them around and making sure that I'm keeping that in the title. And then also you can see right here in your blog, whenever you first create a blog, your title becomes your blog URL, but you can actually go in here and manually manipulate that URL. And so in this case, my actual true long-tail keyword was Raleigh, North Carolina, outdoor rustic wedding photographer. I didn't want to title my blog post just like that. So what I did was I came down here and I actually manipulated the URL to include that. While it still is kind of like that in the title up here, I did manipulate the URL to be my exact long-tailed keyword. So you can see right there, there's the information I'm talking about, including that information that your ideal client would be searching for, keeping it in the title, putting it in the URL of the blog, maybe switching some of the words around for each blog post so that it's not always the exact same thing, but it's pretty close. And then we're going to move down into the actual content section. All right. And so this is where we could talk about what I call, or what some people call, the 3 and 3 blogging strategy. So if you're brand new and you're getting started to blogging, or maybe you've been blogging for a while and you're like, man, I don't know what I could possibly say about this wedding or what I could possibly blog about, use this strategy to kind of help you overcome that. If you can think about, for your wedding, for example, if you can think about 3 things that were either unique about the day or unique about the location, or a combination of both. Maybe it was a nice sunny day on the Neuse River and the bugs were not too bad. Those are 3 different unique things about the day or the location. And if you can craft 3 sentences around that idea, you have half of a paragraph. And then if you can come up with 3 things that were either unique about your clients or 3 things that were unique about the actual wedding ceremony itself, and then you can craft 3 more sentences with those ideas. You put 3 sentences and 3 sentences together, you have 6, and that is a paragraph. And that is a really good start. You don't have to put a lot of information, text information in the blog. You don't have to write a novel, but you do want to make sure that you're putting information in there. And when you're crafting these sentences, again, you're going to want to keep in mind your ideal client, things that they would be interested in, and then your long-tailed keyword. Can you use words from that long-tailed keyword in these sentences so that it's helping with your SEO? Because that's really what a blog is for. Is it's an easy way to let you do quick content and quick pages that are going to help your SEO. And so again, going back to that 3 and 3 blog strategy, that's going to help you build a paragraph. And then you can take those sentences, you can kind of mix them in throughout your blog if you want, and just have that information in here. Now, the next we're going to talk about the photos that you're using in your blog. Again, everything that you do for your blog, for your social media posts, you're doing it and you're asking yourself, is this something that my ideal client would be interested in either seeing or reading? Is this something that's going to attract the people that I want to work with to my blog post, to me, and help me book more sessions with the type of people that I want to work with? That is the question that you are constantly asking yourself when you're doing this. And JCV Photography says, can I put a pitch in here for paying attention to spelling and grammar? Absolutely, 100%. I'm a terrible speller. I don't know how I survived without spell check, but 100%, you definitely want to make sure that you are watching your grammar, you're watching the way that you spell things. Run it through an app like Grammarly, or maybe type it up in Word. If you type it up in Word, don't copy it and paste it directly from Word, because it can carry over the formatting. So if you do that, you want to make sure that you clear the formatting from Word first before you copy and paste it over. All right, but let's go down and talk about the images. Now, more than just the visual appearance of the images also should tell a story. And you can tell that story through the actual images, but then when you add photos to your blog, there are options in here where you can actually add text. And that text information is going to get picked up by the search engines, which is going to help the SEO of the blog post. So when you add a photo, if you go down to the title and caption, this is where you can put in the title of the photo here. You want to be pulling in information from your long tail keyword, right? So maybe this is like outdoor, rustic, wedding. And then again, down here, you would put something, this is the bride and groom in nature, rustic wedding. Maybe I would put something like Raleigh, but spell it right. And then maybe do like Raleigh, North Carolina. And man, can I not spell it? There we go. That's pretty sad. And then down in your alt text, right? Your alt text, you want your alt text to actually be your long-tailed keyword. So that you want to just paste that long-tailed keyword right in there for your alt text. All right, so you're going to put that in there, and then you're just going to save that. And you guys can't see it. Let me jump down here so you guys can see it. So you're going to update that. So making sure that you're doing that to all of the images that you add into your blog post. So if I scroll down here, maybe I come down here and I've added some more photos, just going back and doing the same exact thing, adding in the information that tells the story of the wedding, that includes my keywords, my long-tailed keyword, and again, constantly checking with, is this going to attract my ideal client? Is this going to attract the type of people that I want to work with? So you're constantly asking yourself that question when you're making these posts. All right. And so that using that all together, using that long-tailed keyword in your titles, in your text, crafting some sentences that have unique ideas in there that are also related to your long-tailed keyword, and that's also going to appeal to your ideal client, and having at least a paragraph of text in there, and then doing your alt images and your image titles with your long-tailed keyword. All of that stuff put together is going to give you a pretty good start on your blog post. Now, I'm kind of talking in the minimum amount of effort that you want to put in there to really make this blog worth something. This is kind of the minimum amount of effort you want to put in. Definitely, if you feel like writing a couple of paragraphs, if you feel like writing out the whole day as a story, definitely adding more text and all of that is going to help you as well. I'm really kind of talking about just the minimum. So it's always good to go above and beyond kind of these recommendations that I'm saying. Now that you've got your blog post, let's talk about frequency and consistency. All right. So I did a lot of research, and what I found is that to really have your blog perform well, one, you want to make sure that you're consistent. And what I mean by being consistent is not just that, yes, every month I put a blog post up. Like if you want to be a top performer, if you want to have your blog really help your SEO, you need to be consistent as far as publishing your blog post on the same day, the same time, that kind of consistent. And then the frequency, if you really want to get some good benefit, you need to do a blog post at least twice a week. If you're not as excited about that, if you're kind of like I am and you're like, dude, I'm not going to post a blog post twice a week, like I can just tell you that. Blog at least once a month. If you can find one day or 10 minutes in 30 days to sit down and write a blog post, right? So you want to get at least once a month in there. But if you really want to see some results, twice a week seems to be the magic number that I kept seeing based on all the research that I was doing. So twice a week is really going to help you out. And what's nice about Zenfolio's blog feature is that you don't have to blog on the same day. You can come in here on a day where, let's say it's a Friday, you had a client cancel on you, and now you have this hour of time that you're like, man, I don't know really what to do with. That's an hour of time that you could go in and start setting up some blogs to publish later on. So you could come in here, create a blog, and then you could go right up here to schedule that post, and you can schedule the day and the time that you want that blog post to publish. So if you have a client cancel on you, or maybe it's not peak season and you've got some free time, get in there and really start scheduling your blog post out so that later on when it gets busy, then you don't have to worry about staying on top of that. And again, consistency is going to be key there. So making sure that you're publishing your blog post on the same day and the same time is really going to help you as well. That way that consistency is there. And then try to do 2 posts a week. At a minimum, at least 1 blog post a month to really get some benefit. All right, so let me go back. Let me hit cancel. And I'm just going to close this one. And let me save this blog post. And we'll go back to my dashboard here. And I'm going to check on you guys in chat because I know that you guys had some good information in here, some good topics. Let's see. And I'm going to say hi to some of you guys that I didn't say. 24/7 Media Group says, is the blog templates yet? Unfortunately, the blog is not templated yet, but if you want to create your own blog templates that you can then repeat later on, you definitely can do that. So if you made a blog post and you really like the way that that blog post is laid out, and you don't want to have to go through the process of completely recreating that blog post, what you can do is you can go into that blog post and you can go down here to source. You can copy that source, right? And let's say you went in here and you got this designed really nice. Maybe you used tables and laid your blog post out all really cool looking. And you don't want to have to do that over and over again every time. What you can do is go in there and copy that source. And then you just go and you create a new post. Go down here to source, paste that source in. Go back up to source, turn it off. And then you just replace the photos and update the text. Is all that you need to do. So that's kind of a way to create your own blog templates. So if you go in there and you spend some time designing some nice layouts, some good image positioning, some good text layouts, you can copy the source and then easily recreate that layout and then just update the information that you need to update. Great question though, 24/7 Media Group. Still hoping maybe one day we'll have blog templates, but definitely something that we're looking at. But in the meantime, you can go in there and copy that source code. All right, let me go back and grab some more questions here in chat. Let's see. Roxanne Bay jumped on and is hanging out with us. Let's see. Carol said she's passing on this month's photo contest. We'll keep an eye out for the next one. Absolutely. And I have some information about the next month's contest, but I'm not going to let you guys know yet. Let's see. Carol said, I don't currently blog since I don't have the time to keep current and considerations right now, but if I was to, some topics, what I've learned over the years, best practices, info on the gear I use, hacks, places I really like to shoot at, bucket list of shots to get. Exactly. Yeah. So, right. Sometimes for your blogs, you have to step out of the realm of just talking about your photography. For wedding photographers specifically, you can do a blog about choosing your wedding venue. Or maybe if there are a lot of venues that you've worked in your area, maybe you do a blog post about these are my top 5 or top 10 favorite wedding venues and here's why. And then when you make that blog post, link to each venue and then reach out to each venue and let them know, hey, I've done a blog post about you guys. I've linked to you. Do you guys mind linking back to me? And those cross references are going to help your SEO. And then make sure that you share your blog post out on your social medias as well. So, out of season, talking about things that are not involved around your photography, doing blog posts about locations, wedding venues, reception locations. Maybe you want to do a blog post on best places to buy shoes for your wedding day in Raleigh, or my favorite dress shops, something like that. So different things that your clients would be looking for while they might not be looking for a photographer at that time. This is stuff that they're looking for. Or maybe you want to just write about restaurants in the area. And then anytime you can link to something from your blog post, like a business, and then let them know that you've linked to them and then ask them, hey, can you give me a link back? That is really going to be helpful. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And then again, you're always weighing this against, is this going to attract the people that I want to attract? always weighing that against that and asking yourself that question before you post these. But great suggestions, Carol. Lots of good ideas there. Let's see. Roxanne Bay says, long tail keywords is a new one for me. I always learn something new from listening to these tutorials. Glad that they are helpful, Roxanne. It's just a term that I've probably just started hearing in the past year or so. I'm used to it being referred to as keyword phrases, but I guess the new term is long-tailed keyword. So I learned something new as well. Let's see. Frozen Time. What is the minimum amount of words needed to blog? Like I said, I would shoot for at least a paragraph. You can definitely go above and beyond that, but you definitely don't have to write a novel. A paragraph should be good. 6 sentences should be helpful. Again, that's kind of the minimum. If you want to go above and beyond, definitely can. Let's see. 24/7 Media Group says, I'd like to see the name of the author as well when publishing to go along with the date and time. Absolutely, yes. Putting your name in there, like if you're doing a blog post about a specific event, maybe adding your name in there as well, or your photography name, adding that in the title. And then also in your blog, writing something about yourself at the bottom of who you are and what you do, especially if that blog post is not specifically related to your photography business. So if you're doing one of those off-season blog posts, down at the bottom, write a little blurb about who you are and what you do, and maybe link to your portfolio galleries. And that's another thing too, is you can link to your galleries in your blog. So when you're blogging about a specific wedding, you're hoping that people outside of your client base are going to see that, and then you can always include information like, if you enjoyed the photos above, please make sure to check out my wedding photography, or click here to contact me. I'd love to sit down and have a cup of coffee with you and talk about your wedding or whatever. So you're just like on custom pages where we talk about always making sure that you put a call to action in there. Putting call to actions in your blog post are going to help you as well. Linking to your contact page, encouraging people to reach out, or maybe just to leave a comment or to share to help that blog go out and get more traction. Definitely things to think about. Let's see. JVC says, or JCV, sorry, JCV says, can I put a pitch in here? Oh, I read that one, but Grammarly is great. Absolutely, yes. And then you guys, Richard threw a link out in the chat, and it's also in the description below this video. So if you're watching the recorded version of this, how often do you blog? Like, just out of curiosity, let us know. Hit up that link. That's going to take you over to our forums. There's a quick poll there. Just let us know on that forum how often you blog. Definitely be great to know. Let's see. Question about templates. Would it be possible to copy the source code from a template elsewhere, open source, and paste that into a blog post? So, possible, yes, JVC or JCV. The thing that you have to be careful with is if that template requires JavaScript or anything like that, you can't get access to the head tag in the HTML for JavaScript. So it's possible to definitely try it out, and in some cases it may work, some cases it may not. Unfortunately, we can't really offer technical support on custom code, and if it doesn't working or if it's causing issues, chances are we'll probably just say, hey, we're sorry, we really tried to help, but this custom code, we can't fix it for you. You'll have to remove it. We will definitely do our best to help you with that, but it's definitely something that you could try. If you get a chance to try that this week, shoot me an email and let us know if you found some nice templates or something like that. Shoot me an email, let me know. You can shoot an email to zenfolio.com/contact. Just put attention Robert in the subject line and let me know, because that'd be interesting to see that. All right, guys, let's see. If you're watching the recorded version of this, I would love to have you come hang out with me on a live stream, but I know not everybody can stop what they're doing on a Thursday and jump on YouTube, which is why I'm so thankful for those of you guys who do week after week. Roxanne, 24/7 Media, Frozen Time, JCV, let's see, Carol, Craigslist, anybody else that I missed, you guys are awesome. But for those of you guys who are watching the recorded version of this, if you have a question you'd like for me to answer the following week, make sure that you click that link in the description below this video that says questions for next week, and I will make sure to answer those questions on the following live stream. Now, I'm going to get to some of those questions, but I know you guys are hanging out. You're wanting to see the leaderboard for this month's photo contest. So here are the current top 10 photos for the June photo contest. All right, guys, there we go. Those are the current top 10 photos in the photo contest. And if you're not familiar with how the photo contests work, you submit a photo. Right now, this month's theme is light. Submit a photo. It can be your interpretation of light. We love seeing your creative interpretations, but submit that photo. And then you have to share your link out so that people vote for you. And the top 10 images at the end of the month go to our judge, and our judge is going to go in and actually pick the winner out, and that winner wins a free year of the annual Zenfolio Pro plan. So that this month's contest is light. There's still a lot of time left to join, so make sure that you get your photos submitted. And then it's not just enough to put your photos in the contest. You have to share that link out and get people to vote for you. So make sure that you're sharing that link out and getting people to vote for you. All right, so that link, if you haven't joined it yet or submitted a photo, the link to that is in the description below the video. Make sure that you click on that. Or if you just want to go see the photos that have been submitted, you can click on that link and then go and click vote up at the top, and you can actually go and browse through the photos. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, there'll be a little arrow box on the right-hand side. Click that to see more photos. You guys should definitely go check it out. There are some phenomenal photos on there. I'm so excited about seeing who wins it this month, and then talking about next month's contest coming pretty soon. Not this week or next week, but maybe the following week. All right, let me grab some email questions really quick. Guys, if you have questions in the chat, make sure that you get those in there. If I missed a question, let me know, and I will go back and try to make sure that I get it answered. But make sure that you guys get those questions in the chat so I can answer those live. We've got about 28 more minutes left. And let me grab an email question really quick. Okay, so this question says, how do I apply a pre-order price list to a gallery? Well, the short answer to that is that you don't. A pre-order is made for it to be, pre-orders are made really to be their own standalone price list. They don't get applied to galleries. They're kind of a standalone landing page. And if you guys aren't familiar with how pre-order works, make sure that you go back and check out a couple of the previous live streams on pre-order, because it is a really versatile feature that you definitely need to be utilizing and checking out, because it is just amazing the things that you can do with it, what you can use it for. But like I said, the short answer is that you can't apply a pre-order price list to a gallery. Pre-orders are designed to be standalone. And so let me show you really quick. If we go to selling, and I'm just going to open this in a new tab, and then we're going to jump into that tab really quick. So we're just going to jump into that tab. And if you scroll down here to the bottom, here is pre-order right here. And there is no way that you can assign these to a gallery. So if you are doing a pre-order and then you also want to let people pay after photo day, maybe you're going to upload the photos and then let your clients go there, and maybe not everybody pre-ordered, and so you want to let the people who didn't pre-order be able to order after the fact. There's not a way to assign a pre-order price list to a gallery. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to create a normal price list kind of based on that pre-order. Now, obviously, a big incentive for clients to pre-order is offering a discount. And so you want to make sure that you're kind of thinking about that and say, okay, do I want to make my normal price list the same price as my pre-order price list? What incentive am I giving my clients to pre-order if I do that? But like I said, in short, you can't apply one of these to a gallery. So let's say that you want to let's check out this one really quick. Let's go check out this one. So let's say that you want this price list here to be able to apply it to a gallery. Well, what you would have to do is go back to selling and recreate this as a normal price list. And so what I would do is I would open up selling in a new tab, and then go in here, and you would want to start off by creating packages. And I've already got one created, so you would come in here and you would create your packages that you need. You have this opened up so you can go back and forth and kind of reference those. So you can just jump back and forth, create those packages, and then you would take those packages, go to price list, and then either create a new price list or go to one you already have. But you would basically go here and say, okay, this is my sports after shoot day price list, right? Or non-pre-order price list. And then you would start adding your packages in here and adding whatever a la carte items you wanted to have in here. And then once you have that, save that. And now you have a duplicate of your pre-order that's on the normal price list that you can then go to photos, and then you can go assign that to your photos. So if we go in here, let's say we want to apply that to this gallery right here, go to price list, and then say allow ordering from my price list. And then this is where you would say, okay, sports teams after shoot day. And then you would just save that. And that would apply that price list to the gallery. And basically, it's kind of a duplicated copy of your pre-order. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that your pre-order price list is going to be self-fulfilled, right? So that's going to all be where you basically have to turn around and place the orders on behalf of the clients through whatever lab you want to use. When you create a price list through Zenfolio, a normal price list, under the selling and price list section under here, when you create a price list under here, you have the option of creating a vendor fulfilled price list or a self-fulfilled price list. And so that's when you need to decide, do you want to self-fulfill the post sell is what I call it, or after the shoot day? Do you want to, the people who order after the day of the shoot, do you want to self-fulfill those, or do you want those to go through the integrated vendors? What I personally recommend is creating that price list to go through one of our integrated vendors. You're going to do the fulfillment on the pre-order, and then after you upload the photos and you let the clients go in there, they can choose their photos. I would recommend using our integrated vendors for that price list so that you don't have to deal with the hassle of fulfilling those orders. They're all going to go right to the lab. The lab's going to print it, ship it directly to your clients, and then you are just going to collect the profits from those orders, and you don't have to do the shipping, the ordering, and all of that. It's all taken care of for you. And if you're not familiar with either pre-order or setting up a price list, there are lots and lots of good tutorials on our YouTube channel. Just do a quick search for creating a Zenfolio pre-order or creating a price list. And I actually did a live stream not too long ago all about creating a price list from scratch. So make sure that you go check that out. And I also did one on doing the self-fulfilled price list. So make sure that you go check those out. And if you have any questions about that during the process, you can always reach out to our amazing support team by hitting that chat button right here. Or if it's after chat hours, you can always reach out by sending an email to zenfolio.com/contact. All right, let me grab some water. Sorry, guys. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here. That's a great question, though. I've had a couple of people ask that question about how to apply a pre-order price list to a gallery. Unfortunately, they're two different things, and you cannot apply a pre-order price list to a gallery. Okay, let me see. Let me check on you guys here in chat. Let's see. Roxanne says, wow, amazing work. Absolutely. There are some absolutely gorgeous photos that have been submitted in the contest, so make sure that you're checking those out. let's see. I'm still struggling with finding where I can disable all slideshows. I'm finding some here, and then they're showing up on my site, and I'm not finding these settings to remove it. So Roxanne, there's a couple of places where slideshows can be. All right, there is the homepage slideshow, which I'm pretty sure that's probably not what you're talking about. But then there are gallery slideshows, and I think you can even have slideshows on group pages. And so what I would suggest doing is going to your different page types, removing those options and saving them as default. So let me kind of show you what I mean. If I go to, let's start off by going to a group. So I'm going to go to my weddings group, which is right here behind my head. So I'm going to go to this weddings group, just click on that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that in customized view in a new tab, of course. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click on that, and I'm going to hit open in a new tab, and then we're going to jump over to that tab really quick. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to edit, and we're going to go to edit page. All right. And then what we're going to do in here is the first thing we're going to do is I'm not seeing any slideshows in here, but that's because I've probably customized this or set it up to be a preset. So the first thing you want to do is go to options, and you want to look and see what options there are here. Now, sometimes you might have the banner set to show, right? So you might have a banner showing, or sometimes you might have a layout that allows for what's called spotlight content. So I'm going to go ahead and show that top banner really quick, and then I'm going to apply that. And then what I'm also going to do is I think I can make a group page where it allows for a, let's see, can I do a layout that allows right here? So right now I'm using centered layout. And if you can see right over here, this says centered with spotlight area. So I'm going to apply that layout as well, because that also gives us a place for spotlight content. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to turn on all the places in this group page where a slideshow could show. All right. And then so now you see right here, we have banner content and we have spotlight content. So if I go to banner content, I can say, let this banner content be a slideshow, and let it be a slideshow from this gallery. And then we're just going to select it, and we're going to insert that. And so now we have a slideshow up here in the banner. All right. And then down here, this is that spotlight content. And look, it can also be a slideshow. And so we're going to go here and we're going to make that have a slideshow showing really quick. Just make it be something public. And then we're going to insert that. So now this group page, I'm not in a gallery yet, I'm on a group page, has two different slideshows showing on it. It has this one, which is the banner, and it has this one right here, which is the spotlight content. And so to remedy this, what you need to do is you need to go to options, page elements, and then you can go here and say top banner. I don't want the top banner. So we're going to hide that top banner and then hit apply. Let me get myself back out of the way. We're going to hit apply, and that's going to get rid of that top banner. And then the next thing that you need to do is you need to get rid of this spotlight content on this group page. So now we're going to go to layout, and we're going to just choose a layout that doesn't have spotlight content and apply that. Now we've gotten rid of all of the slideshows on the group page, but there's still another step that we need to do. We need to save this as default. So now all of our galleries all of our groups, as long as they're using the default settings, are no longer going to have those two spots where slideshows can show. All right, and then the next thing that we need to do is we need to go in and do this at the group or at the gallery level. So right now we're on a group, and just so you see what I'm kind of referring to, let me go back. we are on the visitor view of this group right here. And we've taken off all of the slideshow options there. Well, now we need to dive down to the gallery level and remove the slideshow options there and save that as default as well. So we're going to do that now. So I'm going to jump back over into that tab, and then we're going to click on a gallery. And first what I'm going to do is the same thing like I did with that group. I'm going to go and turn on all the places that could have a slideshow. So right now you can see banner content. If I go up here to options, uncheck use default, go to page elements, we can set that banner to show right there. And then we're going to go down here and just apply this. And so now we're going to have that banner up at the top right here. And if we go to banner content, that is going to be you can change it from being a slideshow, a photo strip, or whatever. And then you can change it to be a different gallery. But I just wanted to set it to show so you guys see it. So now we have that banner slideshow up at the top. So that's one place. The other place is if we go back to options, page elements, there is a slideshow button right here. And if I set that to show, that's going to have a little slideshow button show up over here on the right-hand side. And so that's a button that your viewers can click and actually get in and see a slideshow of the images in that gallery. Now the next step is, I think we have layouts. Yes. So just like we did with the group page, we also have a layout that has spotlight content. And if we apply that, that spotlight content can also be a slideshow. I must have embedded a video in this one, but if I go to spotlight content up here, we say change, and let's say it's a slideshow, and then we'll just go in here and hit update. So now this gallery has two places that are actively showing a slideshow, and then it has the slideshow button. So there's three places that a client could potentially see a slideshow: the banner, the spotlight content, and then the slideshow button as well. And so what we're going to do is just remove these options. So we're going to go to options, page elements, top banner, we're going to hide that. Go down to the slideshow button, hide that, and then go ahead and apply that. And then next we're going to go to layout, because we still need to remove this. We're going to go to layout. We're going to choose a layout that does not have spotlight content and apply that. And then after that, we want to click on a photo. Now, I don't believe we can remove the slideshow button on the quick shop. We're going to take a look because I've been wrong plenty of times before, but I don't believe that we can remove the slideshow button. So that is going to be the only place that you cannot get rid of that slideshow button is here on the quick shop. But after you have all of that stuff customized with all of those slideshow options removed, you're going to want to make sure that you hit save as default, apply that, and then the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you publish these changes so they go live. Now, Roxanne, that's only going to affect the groups and galleries that are actually using your default settings. And so what I mean is that if you go into, let's say we go into this Smith gallery here, all right, and we go and we preview that. And if you'll notice right now that gallery is empty. Let's go to a different one. Let's go to Wallace Family Portraits here. And we're going to go in here and preview that one really quick. And so if you'll notice, this one does not have the slideshow or any of the slideshow buttons showing. That's because this gallery is following my default settings. But if I came in here and I went edit page, and for whatever reason, I individually customized this. So let's say I went back in and I unchecked this and I said, okay, for this one, let's let that top banner show and let's show our slideshow buttons. Any gallery that's been individually customized is not going to follow your default settings. And so therefore, even though your default is set to not show these things, if that gallery settings has been individually customized, it could still show those slideshows. And so the quick and easy fix is just to come in here, go to options and say use default settings, apply that, and then click the publish button up in the top right corner and just publish those changes so that that gallery is now following your default settings. The same thing applies with your group pages as well. They can also have their own default settings, and you can also turn that off and individually customize it. So hopefully, Roxanne, that gives you a place to start. If you follow those steps and you're still having issues with slideshows showing up and you're not sure why, just reach out. Let us know, and we are more than happy to help you track down why those slideshows keep showing up and how to get those turned off for you. All right, great question though. Guys, we got about 10 minutes left. If you have questions about Zenfolio, even if it's off the topic of today, make sure that you get those in the chat so I can get those answered for you live. Hey, and if everybody could do me a favor and just quickly click that thumbs up video if you found something helpful, if you learned something new today, if you just enjoy the sound of my voice. Make sure that you click that thumbs up button and let us know so that we can keep doing these live streams for you guys. It really helps us out and lets us know you appreciate it. And yeah, so if you guys could do that, I would really appreciate it. Let me grab an email question really quick, and then I'll come back and check on you guys here in chat. Okay, so how do you recommend accommodating different pricing structures? For instance, I photograph horse races. I think I answered this one last week and I just forgot to remove it, but I'm pretty sure I answered that one last week. So let me go back to the next question that I have in here. Can I batch update keywords and alt attributes? Absolutely, you can do that. And there is a really quick way to do it here in Zenfolio. Let's say that you didn't think about your keywords or you didn't think about your alt attributes, and you don't want to have to go back in and manually go to each photo and update the keywords and all of that stuff. There's a way that you could do it in batch. Now, doing it this way, you have some options, and I'll show you how to do that. So let's say that we want to go to this wedding gallery that's behind my head here. Let's say we want to go here and I want to update all of the alt attributes in this gallery to say rustic outdoor wedding photographer, Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's say maybe that's what I want. All of these alt attributes for these images to say. Well, I could click on them and go to details and come in here and manually do it like this, or I could do what's called a batch meta update. And so the way you do that is, first of all, get back to the gallery level. So click on the gallery. And then after you click on the gallery, you're going to go right up here to details, and you're going to click this bulk update metadata. And then you're going to download the metadata for this gallery. So you're going to click download. That's going to save it as a CSV file or a comma separated value sheet. And then you just need to open that sheet up in something like Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. And let me show you what that looks like. So this is what that looks like right here. All right, it kind of, it'll have the file name, the file title, the caption, any of the keywords. If you have copyrights or alt attributes, it will have all of that information in here. Now you can edit every single one of these columns in this list. The one thing that you have to stay away from and do not touch is the Zenfolio photo ID. If you alter this in any way, it's going to mess up and it's not going to know what photo to apply this to, because that is how Zenfolio identifies that particular photo. So you want to make sure that you don't alter that column. But if you want to update the keywords or the alt attributes or the captions, you can do all of that right here. So let's say that in the alt attribute, I want to, and let me just spread this out so I can do this slow. Let's say the alt attributes, I want to put in all of the photos. I want them to say outdoor rustic wedding photographer, Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so I want that to be all of the alt attributes for all of these images. I can write it there and drag this down. Maybe I want to update some of the keywords in here. You can go right over here and you could say bride. You could put a comma, or you could just say something else. You could go in here and you could say this is rustic, outdoor, or you could do rustic, outdoor, wedding. So you can update these fields in here, or on this list, and then basically what you do is go to File over here. Let me dismiss this really quick. There we go. Go to File, and you're going to download this as a comma separated value sheet. And I'm just going to save this as, I don't know, meta fix 2. All right, so we're going to download that, and then we're going to jump back in Zenfolio, and we're going to re-upload this in here. So now I'm going to go re-upload this. And that is going to update the metadata for all of those photos. It's going to change the alt attribute. It's going to change whatever I changed in there. So now if I click on a photo right here and we go to details, now you can see right here the alt attribute is outdoor rustic wedding photographer, Raleigh, North Carolina. And so that is a way that if you need to batch do this, you can do it through that CSV file. And if you like working with spreadsheets versus individually doing something, that can save you a tremendous amount of time doing it that way. All right, great question though, really great question. All right guys, we got about 5 more minutes left. Let me see if I can answer another email question really quick. Let's see. What is the best way to select photos to show on the homepage? That's a great question. Normally, what I recommend on your homepage is, first of all, you need to decide what type of homepage you want to have. Do you want to have a grid, or do you want to have a slideshow? If you choose to have a grid, you can really pick photos that are mixed between portrait orientation and landscape orientation. If you want to show a slideshow, you're going to want to go with photos that are all in landscape orientation because they are going to fit the screen better. Now, how do you pick these? How do you get these organized all in one place? Well, what I recommend doing is creating a gallery specifically to use on your homepage. Now, you can see I've already got one created right here. And let me just scroll down here so you guys can see that. I already have one created here. And this has all of the images in it that are on my homepage. But if you want to create one, what you're going to do is just come over to all photographs, go in here, and you do not want to use a collection. I would recommend just forgetting that collections exist, because the problem with collections is they will carry in settings from other galleries. So if you're trying to bring photos together from other galleries and that gallery's password protected, it's going to bring that password protection into the collection. And so I don't recommend using collections. What I do is I use a gallery. So let's call this, let's say new gallery. We'll say home page 2. And then what we'll do is I'll show you how I go through and select the images. So first of all, let's get that gallery up here so you guys can see it up at the top. So I'm just going to grab homepage 2 and set it up here. And then what I would do is I would just go to the different galleries that I have and choose the images out of those galleries that I want and copy them into that gallery. So if we jump into, let's go to clients, let's go to 2019 here, and let's go to engagements. And let's say that I want to grab a few photos from here, and I want to have a full screen slideshow so that it's a full screen slideshow. So I'm going to pick only landscape orientated images. Now, the images for your homepage, what I recommend is 10 to 15 of your very best photos. If you could only show somebody 10 to 15 photos to try to get them to hire you as a photographer, that is the 10 to 15 photos that you want to show on your homepage. So what you're going to do is go to your galleries, and you're just going to start scrolling through, and you're going to be like, okay, and I'm going to hold Command on my keyboard because I'm on a Mac. If you're on a PC, you're going to hold Control. You're going to say, okay, I want this photo. I want this one. And let's grab this one. All right. And you would want to be going to different galleries. but I'm holding Command, and then we're going to go up here to Actions, and you're not going to do Move because you want those photos to stay inside of the client gallery. You're going to copy, and you're going to copy that into that new homepage 2 gallery. So that's the process that you're going to use. You're going to be copying those images into that homepage 2 gallery. And then you're just going to go to your homepage and customize view and make sure that it's pulling from that gallery. So we're going to go website and customize website. And I'm just going to do this in the same tab because I'm about to run out of time. Customize website. We're going to hit continue. And then whatever you're using, whether it's background content or spotlight content, you're going to go here. You're going to say select content. And then you're going to find that gallery that you created. This one is homepage 2. I'll hit select and then click update. And now it's going to use those photos. The photos on your homepage do have to be public. So you want to make sure that you set those up to be public. And then the last step is going to be to publish those changes. All right, guys, we have 30 seconds left. Thank you so much to all of you guys who hung out with me today. Hey, make sure that today, tomorrow, and every day you go out and you be a voice of encouragement to somebody. Lift people up, give somebody a hand when they need it, and just be an awesome person. Help us work together and make this world a better place. I hope to see you guys all next week. And until then, I hope you guys have an amazing and wonderful week. Don't forget Site Review Tuesday on Tuesday, same time as Zenfolio Live. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button. And if you're watching the recorded version of this and you'd like to learn more about Zenfolio, I recommend watching some of the videos that you should see popping up on your screen.